The water hit her face before she even saw it coming. Ice cold, shocking, humiliating. It streamed down her collar, soaking through the crisp fabric of her uniform as laughter broke across the training yard. Dozens of recruits watched as Sergeant Cole, broad, confident, and grinning, stood with an empty bucket in his hand. "Welcome to the barracks, rookie," he said, his tone dripping with mock authority. The crowd joined in, chuckling, whispering, but she didn't move, didn't wipe the water, didn't even blink. "Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening." The woman's name was Maya. Her hair clung to her forehead. Her boots squeaked in the puddle forming at her feet. Every instinct told her to lash out, to say something, but she didn't. Instead, her eyes, dark and calm, locked on Cole. A quiet strength radiated from her stillness, unsettling even the loudest of the onlookers. There was something different about her silence. Cole cleared his throat, forcing a smirk. "What, no comeback? Guess you're one of those soft recruits, huh?" he mocked, his voice echoing against the steel walls of the training ground. But Maya's voice, when it came, was low and steady. "You'll regret that, Sergeant." A ripple of murmurs spread through the crowd. Her tone wasn't defiant, it was a promise. Hours later, the base was buzzing. Rumors ran wild. Who was she? Why hadn't she been assigned to a platoon? Why had the commander himself escorted her in that morning? Cole laughed it off. "Just another recruit trying to act tough," he said to his buddies in the mess hall. "Let her try." But deep down, something about those words, "it'll come back to you," lingered like a chill. Outside, the wind carried dust across the parade ground. The sun dipped low, painting the horizon in gold and fire. A convoy of black vehicles rolled through the gates, tires crunching against gravel. Every soldier stood at attention. Every officer straightened their stance. Cole leaned against the wall, watching. "What's this about?" he muttered. "Command inspection," someone whispered. "New base commanders arriving today." Cole frowned. "Didn't know we were getting one." The vehicles stopped in perfect formation. Doors opened, boots hit the ground in unison. A hush fell, and then she stepped out, the same rookie he'd drenched that morning. Only now, her uniform bore the insignia of a base commander. Her nameplate gleamed in the fading light. Commander Maya L. Hart. Every soldier froze. Cole's breath caught in his throat. He wanted to believe it was a joke, but the salute from the colonel beside her said otherwise. His world tilted. Maya's gaze swept across the courtyard, calm, measured, unflinching, until it found him. The same eyes, still cool, still steady. But now there was no need for words. Her rank spoke for her. "Sergeant Cole," the colonel called sharply. "Step forward." His legs felt heavy as he obeyed, each step echoing louder than the last. Maya looked at him for a long, silent moment. The same woman he'd humiliated hours ago now held the power to end his career with a single word. But she didn't. Instead, she spoke quietly. "Discipline begins with respect, Sergeant. Something this base has forgotten." He lowered his head. "Yes, ma'am." She turned to the assembled soldiers. "You laugh at weakness and you shame your own. But strength isn't measured by who you can humiliate. It's measured by who you can lift." Her voice rose, not with anger, but conviction. "And I intend to rebuild this place on that principle." Silence. Then, one by one, soldiers began to straighten their backs. Eyes sharpened. The murmurs changed. Not whispers of gossip now, but of respect. That night, Cole sat alone by the training field, the same bucket resting beside him. He stared at it, remembering the laughter, the look in her eyes. Shame burned deeper than any punishment could. He didn't sleep, and when morning came, he was already outside before dawn, bucket in hand, not to humiliate, but to clean the grounds. Maya approached quietly. "You're early," she said. He nodded, unable to meet her eyes. "I wanted to start over, ma'am." She studied him for a moment. "Then start with yourself, Sergeant. Every soldier makes mistakes. What matters is whether you learn from them." He nodded again, this time looking up, his eyes wet but resolute. "I will." Maya smiled faintly, the first time anyone had seen her do so since she arrived. Good, because real leadership isn't about punishment. It's about transformation. Over the next weeks, everything changed. Training grew sharper. Morale lifted. The same men who once laughed at weakness now stood united under her command. And Cole, once the loudest voice of arrogance, became her most loyal supporter, defending rookies instead of mocking them. Word of Maya's leadership spread far beyond the base. Officers from other divisions came to learn her methods. But to those who were there from the beginning, it wasn't the medals or the orders that defined her. It was the moment she forgave the man who tried to shame her, because that forgiveness rebuilt more than a base. It rebuilt a man, because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back, and sometimes the coldest water can awaken the warmest hearts. If this story moved you, leave a comment sharing what lesson you took from it. And don't forget to subscribe to Whispered Words for more stories that remind us. Respect, once earned, can change everything.